Aw. No, you will have your throat slit.
Look what you did to him.
Hey everyone, I'm Edward.
And I'm Friedel.
And we are two geeks, not on the same couch. What are we going to watch today, Friedel?
Okay, so Edward, do you remember in our unfolding process, you were like, we need to venture into slasher films as a foundational building base for your horror movie visual and linguistic edification. And I was like,
sounds familiar.
Oh dear.
Stay strong.
We watched a couple, and I think at some point I was like, okay, you've got like 3 left or 4 left or whatever to convince me that this entire genre is
Subgenre.
You
haven't liked most of them so far.
No, they have not been my subgenre cup of tea.
1 out of 3, basically, so far you have liked.
Yes, that's correct. 1 out of 3. We put it out there to the masses. Which next slasher film should I try on? Friday the 13th or Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And
we're going for the classics here, folks. That's why.
Yes, so far classics, right? We will venture into Italian slasher films at some point, not today. What we discovered was that there's a lot of enthusiastic support for both of those films, even though Texas Chainsaw Massacre was the one that came out on top by only a couple of votes.
Yes.
And so we were thinking, well, let's just tackle both of them. And since it was recently Friday the 13th, we decided to kind of switch things up and watch Friday the 13th first.
Yes. It felt more on theme with this month, considering Friday the 13th a couple days ago. So
yes.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Now, did you go to summer camp?
Did I go to summer camp as a kid?
Yeah.
I did not go to summer camp as a kid. Instead, my family packed us all up and attached the pop-up camper to the back of the car and drove us all over Christendom for 2 to 3 weeks. It was like bio family summer camp.
Sure. Were there any ghost stories around the fire sort of things going on?
No. My mother didn't really believe in ghost stories around the fire because we all they were just different.
I did go to camp. I went to a summer camp. It was a day camp, so it wasn't a sleepaway camp. Largely my experience with sleepaway camp has been horror movies and comedies from the 80s because it was just a thing, right? It's a fixture in those movies. Meatballs, Sleepaway Camp, Friday the 13th. I feel like there's a lot of movies from that time period where kids are just sent away to some camp to either have like a whole bunch of debaucherous fun or also get murdered, depending on whether you're in the comedy or the horror genre. So
or discover that they're a lesbian.
And it sounds like you didn't see any of that.
I saw Meatballs.
Okay. With Bill Murray.
No. Sorry, Spaceballs. That's different.
Completely different. Different types of balls in a totally different sort of location. Balls. Not the same balls, not the same place.
I did see Space Camp, which was
also not the same thing.
But it was summer camp in space, sort of. Okay. I didn't know any of that. I'm fascinated by existence of a summer camp trope that I didn't even, this is new for me. It's new.
Yeah, it's a thing. Yeah, I'm curious to see what you think of this movie. Kevin Bacon is in this movie. I think it was his first movie.
Seriously?
Yeah,
Footloose,
absolutely.
Dude? Leaping and dancing.
All right, let's do this. Let's watch this movie.
YouTube, let us know what your favorite horror or non-horror summer camp trope film is in the comments below. We want to know.
We want to know. If you like our quest to watch 113 horror movies, boop that subscribe button, give us a like, drop some comments, engage with the awesome community here. If you really want to dig deep, go check out our Patreon. It's super fun. You get to vote on what we watch. You get to recommend things at a higher priority level, and you get to mingle with our fantastic Patreon community and see a lot more of this, watch alongs, extended chats, etc. Also get to see these early. All right. Thanks everybody for all of the support. We love you all, and let's go to summer camp.
I like the I now need to Google how many people have sampled that in music.
Probably a lot.
Well, that escalated immediately. Annie is very sparkly, and I'm immediately worried for her. What did we have to like grab her there? Did we? Why was Annie's ass grabbed in that process? Wow! Fuck that guy! If you take off your red or coral colored thing, you'll blend in better. Is the that's a snake. Snake. Not a support snack.
People smoking, boy. Smoking, don't smoke. Causes cancer.
You know what I mean? Would you just get off a spaceship or something? Colombian gold, man. Grass, hash, the weed. Dig it?
Columbia Gold, man. Grass, hash, the weed. It's my favorite quote of this movie so far.
You'll be hearing from me if you don't.
There we go.
We ain't gonna stand for no weirdness out here.
Oh.
What? Why is Ralph in?
God.
Duh. Duh. Whoa. Oh. Flower of Fours? Oh my God. Oh wow. Wow, wow, wow. Oh wow. Sorry.
That's the one kill I always remember.
Kevin Bacon is out.
Kevin Bacon. We're done with Kevin Bacon.
Wow.
Yeah, but these like pseudo POV shots are really unsettling.
Mm-hmm. I really love the consistency by which these shots create really beautiful diagonals in the screen, in the frame.
Mm.
No, you will have your throat slit. I like how they each have very different color raincoats.
Right. I'd be a little bit more anxious than this had I found like a bloody axe in someone's bed and I couldn't find my friends. I wouldn't just be like, cool, nap time on the couch.
That's a tea kettle.
That's a serious tea kettle.
That tea kettle is not fucking around.
What's going on here? Please help me get out of here.
Why is this person so calm?
Jason was my son, and today is his birthday. Look what you did to him!
Stop screaming, you're giving away your location.
It's a good question.
What? This night is a very long night.
It's really long. This is Voorhees is noisy as fuck.
Yeah, yes. Not sneaky. Okay, now double tap.
Yeah, keep going on this.
Oh!
Take that shit, Mrs. Voorhees. Here
This
I am.
like peaceful piano music is not earned. I
was Friday the 13th.
Okay. All right. Internet. I liked it better than Scream.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Also, I don't know why. I don't
and you
know how to
didn't remember
justify
that
right now.
You didn't remember that Scream basically spoiled this movie.
Scream did spoil this movie within like the first 11 minutes or something.
Did you remember that or no? Were you?
So how it played out was I didn't have enough information to suspect. Like, I kept being like, is Jason gonna show up in some part of this film? What is actually happening? There wasn't any of the context behind, oh, Jason's mother has a psychotic break because Jason drowns in a lake. Right?
Yeah, it all kind of just comes at the end. Yeah, there's no
right.
It's a great twist. It's a really good twist. I'll give them that.
It's a great twist. There was at some point I was about to ask you, like, oh God, does Jason like come out of the lake and pull her in like the swamp thing? And then I was like, no, that would be so obvious. I can't act. That's not a thing that's going to happen, because that's the obvious thing that's going to happen.
Yeah. And it's interesting because with that piano music and everything, and then the way that she wakes up, it does feel like a dream, and then it's not. Yeah. And then but is it? It's a little ambiguous. But then this movie is essentially a setup for the rest of the series where Jason is the killer. It's almost like this is the prequel that you actually got to see first, right? Like if this movie didn't exist and they did the other ones, you could see them at some point doing this as a prequel. But yeah,
I really thought it was, in terms of like the trope of the final girl, one of the things that I liked was that there was no one that she was relying on or could rely on to help defend her.
Everyone else was dead.
Everyone else was literally dead. Yeah, and it was interesting because I could not pick out who the final girl was at the introduction of all of the characters. Like, I felt like in Scream, it was pretty clear from the beginning that Neve Campbell is the person who's going to be the final girl, right? It's pretty clear in Halloween that Laurie, whose name is Jamie Lee Curtis, is the final girl, right? Yeah. But we wasn't clear. There was a lot of ambiguity, and for a second I was like, oh, maybe this is going to be set up to where it's Kevin Bacon, and because of like the coupling there, or right. Sure. And then I was like, no, they're both dead. That's a no. I thought it was also interesting that she's the one who is the final girl, based on the fact that in the earliest scenes we see her being really skilled, and also she's the one that has the most amount of clearly ambivalent feelings about the camp, right. and about being there. Yeah.
And it's funny because I've seen it a couple times and I couldn't remember who the final girl was either for like a good half of the movie. And I was thinking about that, and I kind of went back and forth in my head because I was like, she did, Alice, as played by Adrienne King, like doesn't have the notoriety that some of the other final girls do. Part of me is like, she should absolutely have more notoriety as a final girl, but she's also not. She doesn't stick out as much as like you said, like Sydney's very obviously the final girl. Nancy's very obviously the final girl. She's not the main character. There is no real main character. She only takes that spot when everyone else is dead. It's interesting. It's the way that it's structured is interesting. The way that it was promoted is interesting. It's promoted in that trailer as like just a kill count, right? And it's just 1, 2, 3, and just kill.
Mm-hmm.
The movie plays like that too, right?
Yes.
Like there's some stuff, and then it's kill, and then there's some more exposition, and then Mrs. Voorhees loses her head. Like there isn't a lot that happens in this movie, and it's not very memorable to me. It's not my favorite slasher, but I did have a lot more appreciation for it watching it this time around. Mm-hmm. I really dug the like low budget shooting with available light and sort of doing what they can with that vibe, and I think that they really made it work for them.
I think so too.
Slashers just don't scare me. I don't think they're scary. Someone in some mask is going to come kill me for some reason. Like I just don't. But I get the like, I buy into the tension, I buy into the anxiety. This doesn't make me as anxious as Scream, but like the tension is there, and I really love how they play with the POV camera a lot.
All right. Well, I'm really glad I saw it.
I'm glad.
I want a Camp Crystal Lake shirt.
Oh yeah, nice. All right. So what are you gonna rate this film?
Okay. what am I going to rate this film? First of all, I was thinking about this because I tried to prepare. I do a terrible job at this. All of you are very patient with my rating systems because I know that I ping pong all over the place with a lot of voracious glee. I'm going to give this movie an 8.2.
Wow. I think that's pretty high up there for you for a slasher.
Yeah.
I think that's Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Halloween.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I think did I refuse to rate Scream? No, I probably rated Scream.
You rated Scream below Halloween.
Yeah, absolutely.
Scream has the lowest rating.
Yeah.
Of all of them. So
yeah.
If I'm remembering correctly. When we watched Halloween, I wasn't in a great mood, and I think I maybe should have rated that one a little higher. But I'm gonna play you in this episode of Two Geeks on the Couch, and I'm going to give this movie a very high-waisted pair of 80s shorts, a super sharp machete,
okay,
and one very safe, secure trauma canoe.
Okay. All right.
Because I can't come to a number in my head right now.
Okay.
This was sort of a transformative viewing for me of this movie, and so I need to sort of sit on it a little bit more. I have a newfound appreciation for this movie. You're watching this. I think it's interesting.
All right.
So, all right, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our fourth slasher film.
Yeah, so I'm 2 for 2.
Yeah.
I've got 2 that I'm like, okay, and I'm about it, and 2 that I'm like, do you see my eyeball?
And it's interesting because I would have never guessed. I guessed Nightmare on Elm Street. I would have never guessed how any of the other ones would have landed. So I'm actually glad we watched this because I didn't think we were going to get to it. So thank you, everyone out in the YouTube universe, for sort of pushing this for us.
Absolutely.
We have one more, which we will get to soon, probably in October. Texas Chainsaw. But we are about to enter into a folk horror series.
Because it's my birthday.
By Friedel for their birthday and supported with some voting and some suggestions by our lovely Patreon subscribers. And so yeah, next up, folk horror.
Folk horror. I might actually try to convince Edward to go on a side quest to a folk horror film that I really want to see that did not get put on the list. So we'll see if we have time. If we do, I am gonna eat cake, and I invite all of you to eat cake with me, or pie, or cookies, or a carrot, whatever your thing is.
All right.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thanks so much for being here.
Next week.
Yeah. Whew.
Yeah. Whew. All right.
All right, everybody. Keep breathing. Take care of yourselves. Much love. Bye.
Good night.